Hello, and welcome to Sunspiration. My name is Victor Tarfa, and today is Sunday. So, Victor Tarfa on a Sunday, that brings you Sunspiration. If you're watching for the first time and wondering what is this Sunspiration this guy is talking about, Sunspiration is inspiration from the Holy Bible. Because I believe a human being was created, and when man was created, the manual that was given on how to operate this machine I call a human being is the Holy Bible. So whatever you're looking for, or whatever situation you are going through, or whichever level you're trying to raise yourself up to, the answers are all in the manual. And so this machine can be operated effectively through reading the manual. In the last few weeks, I've been talking a topic which I call walking through this season with God. And I believe it's important for us to understand that we're going through an unprecedented season, I might call it. And so we've had so many different emotions and we felt so many different ways because of the season we're actually going through. So I decided to run a series which actually I called Walking Through This Season with God. First, I looked at who is He to us? Who is God to us? That was the first one I looked at. Then I looked at who are we in Him and who are we in Him. And last week I looked at why has He allowed this to happen. Now, these are the three topics I've spoken about in the last 3 weeks. So if you missed them, you can have a look at Instagram, Facebook, or on my YouTube channel, and you can watch them again. And also you can enjoy today's one, which is the fourth one. And I call the fourth one, How to Walk Through with Him. Once again, topic for today is how to walk through with Him. Now, I live in England, and we were just sitting down one day, and we heard about a virus that was taking place in China. And everybody sort of relaxed, thinking, he's never really going to get to us. And then suddenly, it hit us. And when it hit us, everything went to lockdown and took everybody by surprise. And the first thing that kicked in was fear. And so, I'm going to look at really fear. What does the manual say about fear? So when I looked at the manual, and the manual says, ignoring what they said, Jesus told the synagogue ruler, don't be afraid, just believe. Don't be afraid, just believe. To put a bit of context into this verse, just in case you haven't read the Bible before, this is the story of a guy called Jairus who came to Jesus and told Jesus his daughter was very, very ill. And as Jesus was on his way to go and heal his daughter, he was disrupted by a lady who pulled his garment and got healed. So by the time he finished talking to the lady and carried on walking, the servants of Jairus came to Jesus and said, look, don't bother going to the house anymore. Your daughter is dead already. And then that's when Jesus now made this statement, because the people had told him that his daughter was dead already. And when Jesus said to them, ignore what they said. So Jesus actually ignored what they said. And he said, and he told the ruler, don't be afraid, just believe. Now the ruler obviously was full of fear. He was panicked because obviously he was taken by surprise when he was suddenly now came and told that his daughter who he left, who was ill, is now dead. But when you look at the situations in life, sometimes it might look as if everything has actually died even at this time. Because we're all taken by surprise. We can see the job losses around. We can see the mental health issues around. We can see everything that's happening around. We can see people losing their jobs. We can see businesses crumbling every single day on the news and everywhere we look. And it looks as if everything has just died around us. But Jesus now told him, even though they told him, look, your daughter is dead. He said, no, don't listen to them. So everything might be happening around and all those crazy words you're talking in your head. He said, don't listen to them. Don't be afraid. Just believe. That's the first step. And when everyone was gripped with fear, next thing they kicked in. Once you're scared, worry now begins to kick in. Because now you're scared, you're thinking, you're saying things over and over again. So worry now kicks in. So you're worrying about the future. You're worrying about what's going to happen. You're worrying about what all this is going to turn into. And that's why I went back in the manual again. And the manual says, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. So first you were scared and he said, no, don't worry, just believe. So now you got some belief in you. And he said again, do not be anxious, do not worry. Just present your requests to God. So this is a season in which when everything hit us, what we had to think about was, where do we turn to? What do we do? And God just says, turn to me and just present your requests to me. It's so powerful now because when you're in fear, you're in worry. Fear kicks in, just believe. believe in a positive future, believe in great things are going to happen. And the next thing now happens again, he says, no, don't worry, don't be anxious. Just come and talk to me. Tell me what you want, and I'll provide it for you. And so walking through this season, we need to remember, because obviously like when you step into a season, the first thing that hits you is fear and worry. And the manual has just reassured us we've got nothing to actually be scared of. We've got nothing to be worried about. All we have to do is believe and present our request to him, because guaranteed he will take care of every situation we find ourselves. And as we continue to walk through this season with him, first we've dealt with fear, we've dealt with worry. Then you might now think, what next? How do I break through to the other side? Now next week I'll be looking at what the other side looks like. But today, let's walk through first. Now I believe there are two elements, two strong tools we need to walk through. One is hope, one is faith. One is hope and one is faith. Now first I'll look at hope, just paraphrase the definition of hope that I found when I was just doing a bit of research. And hope is a confident expectation of what God has promised. God has told us to believe. God has told us to come to him. So it's a confident expectation. Confident expectation. When you're confident, because you believe in the manual, you look to the manual, God has told you, no, don't be worried. Just tell me what you want and I'll sort you out. And that's where you now have the confident expectation. You know, when you live a life and there's no hope, you know, you see people who look depressed, who look worried, who look scared, is a lack of hope. Once you have hope in you, automatically you have joy because there's something you're looking forward to. You wake up in the morning every day, you're hopeful, you're excited. That's something to look forward to because you have that confident expectation of the promise that God has made for you. And for the next step will be faith. You know, faith is when you believe in the unseen. You see, faith, you believe in what is unseen. Now, you can watch on TV, you can research, you can look everywhere. Everybody has tried to predict what the new normal is going to look like. Everybody might say, oh, technology is going to take over. Everybody might say, oh, there's going to be more loss of jobs. Everybody might say, oh, the economy might recover slowly. Some say it's going to recover very fast. But you know the truth is, nobody knows. Absolutely nobody knows. Because this is something that has never, ever happened before. And you might say in 1918, maybe it was similar. Possibly. But it's not the same as now. It's a whole different generation now. So there's a massive difference between what happened in 1918 and what happened now. But the only way we can stay and walk through this season with God is by having hope, because we have that confident expectation, and also having faith. That means we're believing in the unseen, because the future is unseen. After the pandemic is unseen, we don't know what it is going to look like. So we can only just have hope in a better future, and we can just have faith because we come to God and we've told him this is what we want, Lord. So we can believe in that unseen, which is the future that is always going to come through after this season. So now we've knocked worry down, we've knocked faith down, we picked up hope and we picked up faith and we're feeling confident. And I believe as we walk through this season, being hopeful, hope will give us joy to push through the season. Faith will help us to get through because we know that we have that future. And we know that we can believe in a God who knows the future and knows the unseen and would walk us through to get us to the other side. Now, I just want to finish up with I can give you a bit of homework today. So wherever you watch this, either on YouTube or on Instagram or on Facebook, I would love to hear what you're going to say about this. And my question will be, can you have hope and not have faith? Or can you have faith and not have hope? Do they always work together? I just love to hear what you guys think. You know, even like a scenario you can give me, I really, really want to hear from you. So just send me your answers, type in the comments box and let me know. I'll say the questions again. Can you have hope with no faith? Or can you have faith with no hope? That's a bit of homework for you to go and look at. And next week, I'll conclude with the 5th part of the series, which will be what the other side could look like. And I'll be going into the manual and looking to see what God lays on the other side of times like this. And then that can keep us more excited and help us to live in more hopeful and live a life full of faith, believing that we serve a God who is always looking after us. So I want to encourage you, just in case you're feeling some fear, just in case you're feeling some worry as you're walking through this season, just reach out to God. He will hold onto your hand. He will give you hope. He will pull you through because you have faith in Him that He can carry you through. Remember, He said, don't worry, just believe. Just don't worry, just believe. And He said you got nothing to get anxious about. Just come to Him with prayer and thanksgiving and just present your request to Him. So I want to encourage you, walk with Him through this season and you will have the confidence because you know you have hope in a God that never fails. So have a wonderful week and don't forget your homework. Stay blessed and I love you all.